Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. Today is August 3rd, 2022. I am a digital artist. What is it? A concept artist working in the entertainment industry for about 10 years. Worked with various companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering, as well as creative. Hold on, what is it? Universal Studios in the creative department. Yeah, and I'm here today with my buddy Michael Welker. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael O. Wilker. I am a software developer, a writer, and a creative producer from the theme park industry, which is where I got to work on some projects with Chris. And recently, Chris and I found ourselves kind of in between big theme park projects and said, hey, why don't we do like a personal creative project, me and you? And so we spent a couple of months trying to figure out what that would be. Eventually settled on, hey, let's learn how to make a video game. Neither of us have done that before, but it could be cool. Let's try that. And not only that, why don't we stream ourselves making this game? Give other people a window into our creative process. Uh, Invite other creative minded people in and get their input on the project that we're making. And that's kind of how the Creative Tavern came to be. And to tell you more about that, I'm going to hand it back to Chris.
Thank you, Michael. So the creative, man, I cannot talk today. I don't know why. So it's just the Creative Tavern is a place for all creative people. It's not just artists. It's not video game designers. It's for musicians, for model making. It's for voice acting, anything at all. This is your platform to shine. Because whenever I started doing Twitch streams, I wanted to, show myself to the world, but I didn't really have a place to do that except on my own channel. So I was like, man, it wouldn't be great if we had a channel to actually feature people who's willing to share what they've been up to. So whenever you guys are here, you guys are most welcome to join our Discord to share with you guys, share with us and the people around what you're up to, and then we in turn will give feedback, give positive praises, whatever you need in order to get yourself going. Because designing stuff is hard and designing stuff alone is even harder, so that's why we want to just come together and just build each other up. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. Edify one another and just help each other out. And even now today we have Captain Blue Blue as well as Totoro in the chat. Captain Blue Blue and Totoro have made a significant contributions to our video game that we're currently designing. And yeah, so Michael, did I miss anything at all? Uh I, I feel
I
like
don't think so.
I can't talk today for some odd reason.
It is Wednesday.
It
You know
is.
what that means.
Yes, right. Today is Wednesday, and it's your time to shine, Michael. As well as we have trivia today, so it's going to be a
That's
lot of
right.
fun. Yeah.
Tonight's Tavern Trivia theme is kaiju and Godzilla and monster movie type stuff.
Oh God, I hope you have.
Per
I hope you have like Power Rangers in there. We'll see. Well,
no, no,
man.
sorry, no power. I didn't even, yeah, it didn't even dawn on me like, oh yeah, that totally qualifies.
Yeah, yeah. Power
Uh,
Rangers, part of the whole kaiju thing. Yeah.
well, for round two of this
Okay.
theme, I'll make sure to include some
Yeah.
Power Ranger stuff for you.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right.
So stay tuned for that. That'll be after my design update.
Sweet. Sweet. We're very excited. All right, Michael, I will hand it to you whenever you are ready, sir.
Excellent. Okie doke. So before I jump into looking at the Unity stuff, I do want to just say this week's update's going to be a little light. That's partially because I've been doing a lot of other life stuff, trying to get my ducks in a row and catch up on some things to basically make sure that my yeah, like like this transition into like making my
Empire
living building my
and
empire through
Empire.
software development, um, making sure that that's all kind of like lined up so that way I can turn the money faucet back on basically at some point here in the near future. So I've been kind of like focused on a lot of that. One of the big breakthroughs there has been, and Totoro, you'll be happy to hear about this. because I've been talking about it for months, and then I'm like, I really need to finish this by the end of the year. And that is that I've basically finished CS50.
Yeah,
So for
congratulations. That's
yeah, the
awesome.
only thing that I haven't completed yet is the final project, but I'm planning to submit either this rail shooter game that we're making or another like either an iOS app or some kind of other programming project that I'm going to be working on already through the end of the year for my portfolio. I'm going to submit that. But otherwise, I've completed all the lectures. I did all of the course material. Um, yeah, and it's man, I and for anybody who doesn't know, CS50 is a course that at Harvard University, it stands for computer science. It's basically their like entry level computer science class. Um, and what happens is like they record the lectures and then they post them online in this forget what they're called. It's they like massively online course or something like a MOOC or something like that, MOOC or something. And then you can just go to that website and you can take the course. You
Mm.
watch the lectures and you do the problem sets and the homework almost to the same level as the students. I think the students on campus are actually held to a little bit higher standard. I think there's a little bit more homework that they have to do. And obviously, they don't have a year to do it. They have it's like 10 or 12 weeks or whatever, like however long the course is. Um, but it is amazing. The teacher, David Malin, is incredible. The professor, I should say, um, teaches the material in a really intuitive and super fun way. The production value is just sky high, off the charts. They have like multiple different cameras, and they're on like dollies, and they're panning, and they've got green screens. I mean, it's a really big production.
Wow.
It's yeah, it's really super cool. If you have any interest in computers or computer science, I highly recommend it. Um, though I will say, if you really want to do the course, it's hard. It's really hard. It's definitely intended for beginners, for people who have never done it before, who've never done any computer programming, but they really want you to understand computer science, so they push you pretty hard. So
Damn.
it's kind of renowned for being really difficult. In fact, the last time I looked up the stats, which they don't publish very often, this was from like several years ago, but the drop off rate, the people who actually complete the course, is like microscopic. One of the years that they did it, that like 150,000 people kind of showed up for the first lecture. Uh, by the time they got all the way to the end, where like they ever the number of people who had completed the course
Uh-huh.
and submitted the final project and got the certificate was only like 1,500.
Wow.
So that's like 99.9% of people don't make it because it's tough. It's really
Woof.
hard. And I gotta say, I mean, that thing kicked my butt a couple of times. I think I started it 2 different times and didn't complete it. And the most recent time was last year. I did it, didn't finish it,
Hmm.
but this year I was really committed to it, and I told myself, and I'd been telling you, and I'd been telling our buddy Richard, like, hey, I'm going to finish this by the end of the year. Like, this is really important to me. I need to get it done. And anyway, I basically did it. And
Nice.
when I got to the final lecture, it sounded a little sappy, but I actually cried because I
Oh
was like,
man.
wow, I can't, like, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it was, I just felt really proud of myself for having, like, I could feel the transformation in the person that I am now
Uh-huh.
compared to who I was when I started.
Nice.
And I don't know, CS50 just means an awful lot to me now, I and I want to incorporate it somehow into like my future. I think on my stream channel, maybe next year when they do CS50 again, I might do some kind of like video series where I can kind of like help other people get through it because it is pretty tough.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm going way off the ranch here talking about CS50. The point is, I spent a lot of my time kind of wrapping that up and closing the book on that. which was great. Huge accomplishment. I feel really proud. So that's one of my excuses for not having
Mm-hmm.
as much done this week. So
No, I think that's great.
disclaimer.
I think that's I said to you this air is that um it's okay to take as much time as you need to, if not more time, for your CS50, because that in itself is the foundation of all the things that we'll be doing. Because without the knowledge of CS50, all the stuff that you'll learn, it's kind of hard to build a game. Because
Yeah,
if you have a strong background in the knowledge of the tools that you can use to code stuff. And I apologize, I don't have the right verbiage. To coding, to doing what is necessary to make a game work, then it's actually a lot harder for us to make the game. But because you invested the time and the knowledge of CS50 and finishing that course, again, congratulations! It's going to make our lives so much easier. And this time, when I say our lives, I mean your life too, because you're the one that's doing most of the heavy lifting on the programming side of things. Now, my question is, will you not be able to get a certificate or certified, be legit certified until you make a program?
yep.
And then does your name do you get like a like Michael Welker I don't know, PhD or CCS or
Not a
CS50
PhD.
or something, like I mean, it's
Yeah, a
so
certificate.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah. So that makes you legit, that you can say you
exactly.
could put on your resume like, I finished this course, I am a legit programmer. Completed, I graduated, and I have skills. Um yeah, cool.
Yes. The way they uh, if you want to take the course, like instead of just like watching the lectures, you actually want to participate and submit the problem sets and do the programming, complete the homework. They have like an automated system that
Mhm.
you interact with,
Mhm. Mhm.
that you reach out to it and it says, oh, okay, here's the problem set, and it downloads it onto your computer. Then you solve the problem set by adding your own code, and then you upload it, and then the system like receives it, grades it, and then puts it into a grade book and says, okay, here you go. This
No.
and so if you do all of those and you fill up the submissions and you do every single one of them, including the final project, then you and it's all at least 70% or higher for each or like overall your average I guess needs to be 70% or higher. Then yes, you get entered into their system as having completed the course,
Mm,
and then you get a link, you click it, and you get a certificate that is verified by them. And there you go. Then
that's
you're
awesome.
CS50X graduate.
That's awesome. Captain Blue Blue says game programming is one of the harder fields of programming. Imagine all of the different aspects you must know: AI, graphics, database, etc. And Coley Butt is in chat. She says, "Howdy, hey Coley Butt."
Hi,
Ah,
Coley.
hello.
Yeah, Cap Blue Blue is absolutely right. It's tough. Like computer programming is legit. Like if you know how to, and I mean even like what we're doing in Unity, I think is even has some training wheels on it, because so much of the like physics and the 3D rendering, they've already figured that out for us. Like
Sure.
the Unity engine just does that. And so really a lot of what I'm doing in Unity is really scripting, because I'm not having to program the engine. Um,
I disagree with that. F- I can't do it. I consider you as a programmer
yeah,
in Unity.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so anyway, I was busy doing that this week, but I did get around to doing a couple things in our game, and I'm going to share that with you now. First, I'll do a little recap of where we were last time. Um, so the big thing last time here in Scene 2, I had kind of like created some sort of like a sample environment over here with some of our time targets, and I'll go ahead and hit play and show you. Uh, the big thing here was adding these and these gates that I have on here. I've made them visible right now just so you can see them. In the actual game, they'll be invisible.
Mhm.
But what I did is, like in the previous week, I had added these time targets where they, you've got to shoot them before they count down, and if you get them all, then you get a perfect. If you miss any one of them, then you get a missed. And those are triggered by the gate. So you can see, like, as I'm passing through the gates, these things are turning on. I'm terrible at my own game. I can't.
No, no.
Yeah, so I'm gonna replay that. One of the big things that I added here this time is when you go through the gate, you get this action dialogue. So we've got one of our pilots here telling us like what's going on, and then this timed target event is now gated to, or now triggers that shuttle to explode if I fail. So there's that shuttle that's in the port there. It blew up just now because I failed. But if I do a good job and actually hit all the targets, instead of blowing up, they'll say, we're all clear, thank you. And then you can see the shuttle is now departing from the location instead of blowing up.
That's cool.
So that was the big thing, was programming in the gates to be able to interact with things like the shuttle, and that the time targets could all talk to each other and could detect, like, okay, did you hit the success state or did you hit the fail state? And I'm going to do a different thing depending on which one it is.
Cool.
The other big thing that I did, that actually, if I zoom in here, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'm going to hit play and then come back into the editor. You can see our little spider drones are tracking the player. They're moving their heads around. Really hard to tell that that's happening in the game because their heads are phase locked with the players. So the players, like the camera angle is always seeing the exact same angle of the spider drones.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something maybe we're going to try to look into putting some cutscenes in, so that way you could get you can actually see that that's happening. But for now, they're at least doing that, so they'll be able to shoot at the player when I turn that functionality back on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that was about it. There was a couple of other things in here that were like not things that I did, but were like problems that it so far has not happened. But I think if I go in here and maybe if I turn this up a bit, this might trigger it to happen. Let's see here. Yep, there we go.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what I did there, because one of the problems that I had with this scene last time is sometimes the ship would do that. It would like not respond to the gates the way it was supposed to. Like it would just go flying off into space, and I couldn't figure out why. And it would only do that sometimes. This week, I figured out why it was doing that, and that took me down this rabbit hole of trying to solve the problem. The short version is that basically the way that the gates work. So I've got this gate here. There we go. So I got this gate here. It's on the rail. Where's the there? So there's the player rail passing through the gate. When the ship passes through the gate detects a collision and then does some things. So if I click on the gate, actually the gate script, yeah. So can I make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see this? Because I know my face is probably blocking some of this. But basically, I've got like all these different things that I can program the gate to do. I can, if I want to change the direction that the ship is looking, or if I want the ship's speed to change, all these things are functions that I've added to the gate. And all of it is contingent upon the detection of colliding with the player. So when the player's box collider, because if I click on the player rig and go up here, so here's our player ship, and if I go to the ship itself, the ship has these box colliders, which now you can see here in green. So the way Unity works, and really most game engines that have these sort of like collider things, is this is an invisible box around the object that can detect when that box is colliding with other invisible boxes. And so the way I had this programmed is that I basically said like, hey, when the player's box colliders collide with the gate, do something. And so I couldn't figure out why it was like freaking. Oh, where the hell am I? Oh, I guess I'm way over here. I couldn't figure out why that wasn't working, and it took some trial and error, but I figured it out. And it was basically that the ship, that the player's ship was moving too fast, and so for whatever reason, and so like here it's doing it consistently because I sped the player's ship up. If I slow it way down and we go down to like 50, it's going to take a while to get there, but now you'll see that it'll work just fine. My hypothesis, because I don't know for sure, my hypothesis is that the ship was moving so fast that the box collider for the ship was on one side of the gate on one frame and then completely on the other side of the gate for the next frame. So there was never a frame where the box collider was intersecting with the gate because it was just moving too
Oh
fast.
my god! So it just skipped the collider.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
phased through it. Holy cow!
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing because in the troubleshooting that I did to try to like debug this, I noticed that whenever the ship would fly like all crazy out into space, I noticed that because one of the things that I have the gates programmed to do, which you can actually kind of see a little bit here, if I go into this space, you can see that when the player's ship passes through the gate, it'll disappear. See, boop, that one's gone. And then when you pass through this one, boop, that one's gone. That's because what I basically did is I told the gate, hey, when the player passes through you, trigger the events that you're supposed to do, and then just destroy yourself because we don't need you around anymore.
Right.
And also because it was causing problems with like the player colliding with it and it triggering events multiple times while the collision was still detected. So as the player was passing through,
Right.
if it was if the collision was still there for multiple frames, you'd be getting multiple calls to things and it was causing problems. So I was like, "Oh, just call once and then destroy yourself. That
Right.
way there's no more collisions."
Right.
Um, what I noticed was that when the plane would fly and freak out, the first gate was not destroyed. It stayed in the game. So that was my first clue to like, oh, well then it must not be detecting the collision because it's programmed as soon as you detect a collision, do your thing and then destroy yourself. So if it
Mhm.
wasn't
Mhm.
destroying itself, then must not have been detecting a collision.
Right.
That's when I started playing around with speeds and slowing things down and speeding things up, and that's when I realized like, aha,
Oh.
gotcha.
Right.
Uh, because now if I do the same thing as before and go ahead and speed up the player rig to like 200, let's say, uh, now it should fly off into space. Woo,
Oh,
yep, there we
jeez.
go. Um,
Good catch, by the way.
Thank you. And I'm not 100% sure that that's what's going on, but I've been able to consistently reproduce a high speed causes the error. Low
Mm.
speed
Mhm.
makes the error go away.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so then then it became a matter of like, okay, well, how do you fix this? And that is, so to look at that, I'm going to switch to the updated version of the Unity project now. So you sure you want to load that? Yes. And then this should load in the new thing.
And while you're loading that, I'm gonna talk to chat really quick. Lissy, so
Oh,
good to
yes,
see you.
please.
Hello, good to see you. And we have Riley Star in here. Hello, so good to
Nice.
see you
Hi,
guys.
Riley.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Riley asks, "Is this an art stream tonight?" Uh, here in the Creative Tavern, currently Michael right there, and myself, Chris, we're currently designing a video game. So for the past 4 or 5 months, we've been kind of designing assets for the game as well as doing a lot of Unity programming. So there aren't a lot of art per se. It's more like I do the 3D art digitally and then I give it to Michael and then he plugs it into Unity and then so that's how we're doing it. Yeah, so this is what we're doing for the past 4 months. Or we're not going to be creating a game for forever, but this is just one of the projects that we are doing. And here at the Creative Tavern, we want to show all types of stuff. Video games. Various programs that we create, artwork, and anything. And so, yeah, so very very happy to have you here, Riley and Lissy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome in. All right, we caught up on chat?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. So, I'm not gonna get super into the weeds, into the like actual code here, but I kind of just want to show it on screen. That way you can kind of like, and especially if there's anybody out there who's interested, when the VOD goes up later, you're welcome to pause and look and see how I logicked through this. But basically, the code that we're looking at on screen right now is for the gate. And originally, this code had some components that basically would detect the collision. So way down here, all of this code that's now in this trigger gate function used to be in a function, and instead of trigger gate was called on collision. And it would say like, okay, when you collide with something, if it's the player, do these things. But because that wasn't working, I needed to take it out, put it into its own function, and say like, okay, I need all that code still, but I'm gonna call it at a different time
Mm.
because the collision detection is just not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
So how to solve this problem? The idea that I came up with was, well, I know which rail the ship is on. And I've got a piece of code on the ship right here in the rig. So the rig is basically the game object that moves the player's ship on the rail. It's basically like a big cart, and the player's ship is inside the cart, and so
Mm-hmm.
when the cart moves on the rail, it moves the ship. Uh, and the cart I call the rig. And the rig actually can tell other objects what its position is on the rail. So other objects can say like, "Hey, cart, I want to get your cart position." And so this little piece of code right here basically returns the cart position to whatever thing is asking for it. So I knew, okay, I know what rail the player ship's on. I know that I can ask the cart like the distance on the rail, like where are you at on the rail? And I know where the gate is because the gate I'm telling it to land at a specified place in space on a rail, basically. So if I know that, then what I could do is monitor the player's ship position, and when it's on a position on the rail beyond where the gate is, then I know that it's past the gate, and I should do I should trigger the events.
Mm.
So that's what I did. So I basically programmed in right here. And this was a little bit tricky to get because the way the Unity Cinemachine rail system works is it's got some like complicated things going on with units. I had to like bend my brain around like path units versus distance units for a while and spend a lot of time in the Unity forums trying to figure out like how can I get the thing that I want. But basically, that's what this code does now. Is it basically looks at this piece right here is the position of the player. So like where on the rail is the player,
Right.
and then this one is where is the gate. Um, and so once the player is past the gate, then trigger the event. And the cool thing about that is it still is a little bit susceptible to if the player's ship is moving really fast. It can go pretty far past the gate before the gate triggers because if it's moving fast enough per frame, it could go pretty far in one frame.
Mm.
But we don't have the situation where the gate just doesn't get triggered at all. Now the gate will always
Always.
trigger once, but on the first frame past the gate.
Mm.
So did that, took a while, debugged it, but I got it working, and I
Nice.
can show you in the game. I mean, it's not going to look. See, this is one of those things that I was mentioning where it's like it's not going to look any different. It's just going to look like, oh, it looks the same as it did before. But it's flying off into space. That's weird. Did I not load this properly? Hang on a second. Let me load in a different scene and then go back to this one. Man, this is gonna be real embarrassing if it just keeps flying in. Oh boy.
Oh
I
no!
swear I fixed it.
I believe you. We believe
but I'm
you.
getting all these null reference exemptions. Okay, so this gate doesn't know what it's referring to.
Well, it knows
Uh,
that we're streaming right now and that there's like people watching you,
yeah.
and that's why it's like, ah, let's fuck with Michael and let's make it not work. That's how it usually is.
Yeah, I think I know what the problem is because there's a different thing that I fixed after this and didn't come back to check if that other thing broke something else. And apparently it
It
did.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so rather than troubleshoot this live, because we could go down quite a rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
you'll just have to take my word for it.
Yeah,
That's the update that I made to the code. It did work, but now there's a new bug that I have to fix. But that's a perfect segue into the other thing that I fixed,
nice.
which if we go into, I think it's the Rail Change Lab. So here was the big thing. I went into scene 4 this week, and I was like, okay, I'm going to clean up scene 4, get rid of some of this other stuff that I didn't need, and try to like actually program in a couple of these moments, these sort of like you know these little like 30 seconds of gameplay where like, oh, you're gonna have like a little swarm of drones are gonna come attack you here, and then 30 seconds later you're gonna have a missile bot coming after you, whatever. And immediately ran into trouble because the same sort of thing that I've talked about before, which is like the rails start to get really, really long and kind of like unmanageable
Huh.
because as you can see here, like this rail is already at like 36 units long. And by the time I get way over here and I'm trying to like work on something, technically I can do it. Like if I wanted to, add more to this rail, like it's really not a big deal other than just coming over here into this giant list of and you probably can't see it because or actually here, let me shut myself off for a second so you can see this. Down here in the like bottom right hand corner, like if I click the plus button, yeah, it's going to add another node here. And you can see in the editor, if I go over here, there's my new node number 37. And so technically it's fine. Like I can do that. But it does get a little unwieldy when you have this like giant wall
Mm-hmm.
of waypoints in here.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and turn myself back on here. And the other thing that makes it tricky is if I want to try something, if I want to like, okay, I want to do something crazy in this room here. This rail is connected to, or actually even better, like if I said that I wanted to do something in this room, like let me try to do something in here, well, I can't really do that without messing around with the rail that's up here or back here because it's all connected. So if I wanted to like, move this over here or like, oh, I want this to go outside here. Well, shit. Now I've got to like add another one here and bring this way and maybe I don't want it to go that way anymore. Maybe I want to see like you can pretty quickly see that it becomes difficult to start changing something in the middle of two other things or in the
Right.
middle of like this big snaking thing.
Yeah.
So it became really important to find a way to be able to change rails. That way I could do like little segments and make a thing and be like, okay, let me try this thing. If that didn't work, throw that away without throwing away all the other stuff and try a new one. But and I don't know if I can show it here, but the big problem that we had with the rail system is that it was always like uh, it always had this jank to it, like this jump where you could see like, oh, that was where the change was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was never able to like fully get it smooth. Like I got really close. Like the closest I ever got was like being able to change between two rails, uh, like roughly at the same point, as long as the rail was the same. But because of the way the Cinemachine rail system works, is even if you change like a node way out here at the end, um, I'm gonna move this number 37, but watch what happens to 36 and 35. Like look at this piece of rail back here and watch what it does. See how it's moving
Oh,
over there?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it does that like I like many nodes
Sure.
back into the system. And the reason it does that is because it's using Bezier
Yep.
interpolation
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
order to create a nice smooth rail,
Right.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But the problem is that means anytime I want to jump from one rail to another that doesn't follow the exact same path, that slight little change in the curve causes this like hiccup
Mhm.
whenever we changed rails. And so it was driving me crazy. And so I went into, I'm not going to save that there. I went into this space, which I basically just made a quick little like sandbox thing to kind of play around with the rail system, because I was trying to figure out how to get it to work. And I had this crazy idea. I guess I can get rid of all these, that way I can see if there are any that pop up. The and actually, it might be helpful if I go into last week's. So it's going to ask me if I want to reload here, and I do. I don't know if last week's. Oh, maybe it's not going to ask me. The Railcam. The Railcam lab. Don't save. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. This is the one that I wanted. So the way that the ship camera system works, if I click on our player rig here, so here is our player. The player rig is made up of a bunch of different components, right? You've got the player ship is buried in here, like here, and even this is not like one thing. This is actually a parent object for a bunch of different things, including the ship model,
Mhm.
which if I zoom in a little bit here, if I turn that off, you can see that's the actual ship. That's the model that Chris created, and I imported into Unity. But it also contains things like the explosion when the player ship blows up. You've got these explosions. You've got the lasers are in there and all this stuff. So all of those are contained in this like player ship object, and that is attached to what I call the gimbal, which is basically this object that can move the player ship uh, relative to where the different cameras are.
Mhm.
And so those cameras, at least for the gimbal, it's actually looking at these cameras up here in the outrigger. So if I click on the outrigger, it's just this invisible object, but it has these cameras in different places. So that like, and actually, I'm going to do this real quick to clear up some of that GAC so you can actually see this a little bit better. So there's a forward camera that's basically here and it's looking forward, obviously. There's a
Yep.
backward cam, which is over here and looking backwards. There's a left cam, side cam. And what happens is when I turn those cameras on, this gimbal, it will move to where that camera is. So if I set the player rig to not move at all, is my video feed flickering on your end at all?
No, no, it looks
Okay,
good. Yeah.
great, because it is flickering a little bit for me. Okay, so I'm gonna hit play, and our ship's not gonna move at all. But what I can do is, if I go in here and activate this backward cam, you can see the ship moves into that backward position, right? And that's because this gimbal it's using Cinemachine's camera system to smoothly move between camera positions.
Mm.
So then if I turn this guy back off, you'll see it does the same thing. Now it's
Cool.
smoothly transitioning from the backward cam to the forward cam. And then I can do the same thing with like if I want it to go to the right one, I can click that. And now it moves from that one to this one.
That's very cool. Michael, Riley Star has a question. She says, "I thought a gimbal was used in film to keep the shot smooth. Is that a completely different thing in Unity?"
So the use of the word gimbal here, I just made that up. This is just an object that I decided to call a gimbal in order to like make it make sense in my brain, but I could have named this thing anything. You know, I could call it Bob. It doesn't have any special meaning in Unity. Unity doesn't have the only thing that has special meaning so far of what I've said are like the Cinemachine virtual cameras.
Mm-hmm.
That's the official name for those things. But for like rig, gimbal, this is all just stuff that I'm using to kind of like try to make sense of these different objects, so they're not just so they're either not just generically named
Right.
or confusingly named.
Right. Right. Right.
In the case of this, the reason why I chose gimbal for this is because one of the things that a gimbal does when you're like using a gimbal to keep a camera steady is even if you're moving around a whole bunch, it's counteracting the movement to make sure that the camera stays where you want it to be.
Sure.
That's kind of what I wanted this thing to do. I
Mhm.
wanted this to smoothly move the camera and the ship, uh, regardless of what other things were happening.
Yeah.
Um, and originally, the way I had this programmed was just for that purpose. All it did was move between those different positions. But we still had the problem with the jump when you go through a gate and change rails. And actually, let me see if I can recreate that for you guys here. That's the rail, so let me just duplicate that rail. And I'll just move this thing ever so slightly like
Oh
this.
wow. Yeah. It
Well, I
totally
guess
moves
that's
it.
not very slight, but and then where are our gates? So there's a gate right. Is this gonna work? There's no mesh render attached to the gate too. This trying script is trying to access it. This maybe will be okay. So let's not do that. Let's change.
Oh, and Riley says, ask, what do you use for modeling? Currently, I for modeling, I'm using Blender, but you can use any 3D programs you like in order to create 3D assets. You can use Maya, 3ds Max. However, I use Blender because it's free. Yeah. So hopefully that answers the
Oh
question.
yeah.
Yeah, free is always good.
I'm just going to try to line this up a little bit. And this might not work at all because I've made so many changes to the gates that this might completely break and fall apart. But I'm going to try this at, what was that position? Position 1. Okay, so I'm going to hit play and let's see if this actually, oh yeah, I need to actually give this some speed, 25. So if this does what I think it's going to do, it's going to pass through this gate and yeah, see that jump, that jerk that it did?
Hmm.
Did you notice that?
Can you do it one more time?
Sure. So watch right about bam,
Oh,
right
oh,
there.
geez, yeah, that's not a jerk. That's a like a punch in the
It's a
face.
yeah, violent whiplash.
Yeah.
And actually here, I'll do this too. I'll go into this scene and you can see it from bird's eye view. Bam.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, because it went back to like the other rail there, but it is on the new rail. Yes. Um, oh, I know why I did that. Actually, so if I tell this, actually, let's see if I can make it a little bit less. Where is that gate? Um, so a little bit further up,
And
right about
thank you so
there.
much, Riley. Riley says this all looks pretty amazing so far. Ah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Oh
We
yeah.
have a lot of stuff created so far. We our end goal is September, like mid September, end of September. So hopefully by then we'll have a beta that everyone in the chat can play.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep.
All right, so
Oop, I
okay, yeah, so that's a little bit more realistic. So what I did here is I the reason it was jumping so substantially before is because it was moving back to like the beginning of the rail. But now it's
oh.
jumping to the new rail at
Uh-huh.
roughly the same position.
Uh-huh.
But if you watch carefully, you can still see
Yep.
the jump. Did you?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
so like hard cut,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
That was driving me crazy. I needed to solve that problem and figure out like how to fix that. And the way that I figured out how to do it is basically what we were looking at with the outrigger. If I switch that to base speed of 0, hit play again, go to the different things here. Basically, what I thought was like, well, wait a second. So if I have these two cameras and it moves smoothly between them like that, and now all I have to do is just disable the cameras. What if there were two rigs? One,
Uh,
the rig that the ship is in right now, and a phantom rig that I could like move that to the new rail and then turn off the camera on the old rail, on the old rig, and turn on the camera on the new rig. So then the gimbal, which is just moving smoothly between cameras, would then
uh-huh.
go, oh, I need to switch to the new camera, which is over here now. Long story short, that worked.
Wow.
That actually fixed the problem, and now we have perfectly smooth transitioning between rails. So I'll show that to you,
Oh,
and
that's
hopefully it won't be broken.
well, that's huge. That means scene 4 is solved then if this goes all according to plan.
That means so many different scenes are solved. Like the core functionality of being able to like build the game suddenly becomes significantly easier.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
can very easily incorporate like the rail switching thing, like the idea that you've brought up before about like, oh man, it'd be cool if you had like forking paths and like, you could go
Mm.
down one or the other.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now it can be actually quite seamless. So if I
Yeah.
go into the rail change lab, don't save. Where is my stuff? I think this is set up already to do this. So if I click, yeah, so here I've got this rail. This is the second rail, and this is the first rail. So our ship, if I disable the gate, oh yeah, and I also made a gate manager because the gate thing is adding in this new functionality suddenly became so much more sophisticated and complex that I needed a gate manager to talk to all the different gates, and to be able to help manage the movement of things. But gate, okay, so if I disable the gate and then the players, the rig main is on rail 0. Yeah. So if I just play this as is, wow, why is that
Yeah,
jumping around like
it's
that?
jumping. Weird.
There might be something else in here that I have overlooked. Oh, does this have a, no, that's not on. Hmm. Yeah, that's weird. Of course it's broken. I turn that on. Is that? No. Hmm. Well, damn. I don't know why it's jittering like that. It wasn't doing that before. The joys of game development. Things work until you're streaming in front of the whole world, and then they break.
That
So jittering aside, which I'll have to debug later and figure out why it's doing that. It wasn't doing that before. Uh, but basically, what was happening now is like I've got this rail. This
mhm.
is the rail that the ship is currently on, and this is the rail that it's going to move to when it passes through this gate. And it did that on the when I hit play,
Mhm.
and you can see, and I've got the gate here. So jittering aside, here's the transition from one rail to the other.
Nice.
You can
Man.
see that it's like incredibly smooth,
Yeah, that's
aside
great.
from this weird jittering thing. And then if I
Yeah.
do it again, and I go up here so you can actually see it's on one rail,
Boop.
there's the switch to the next rail, and it kind of eventually catches up, and now it's back on track.
That is great.
I'll fix the jittering thing. I promise that it was smooth when I was like, yeah, I did it. Hit save. I'm gonna share this with everybody. It's gonna be really exciting. Uh,
So this is awesome, man. So now we're able to have like, I mean, you feel free to put your producer's hat on, Michael. But now we are able to create as many thousands of different paths that we want through the game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yes, and so what this means in terms of like building the game for me makes things a lot easier because I can do things like this. I can do a short little segment like this, try
Mhm.
it. If I
Mhm.
don't like it, then I get rid of it.
Yeah.
Um, and that makes like prototyping levels so much easier when I don't have to worry about like you got to do the whole thing in one shot. You got to
Yeah.
do it a single rail.
Right.
Like man, that's just so difficult to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. And then from a gameplay perspective, one of the things that's really great about it is, yeah, we can actually now have we can very easily create systems where, um, when those time targets are flying in, if the player fails, you go down this path. If
Mhm.
the player
Mhm.
succeeds, you go down that path. We could have something happen where the player can actually like move the ship. If I fly all the way to the left, I'll pass through a different collider.
Mhm.
If I go through to the right, I'll pass through the other collider, and then that will determine whether you go one of two directions on the rail system.
That's so cool.
And it'll be, you know, obviously when the jittering is gone, it'll be smooth enough that players won't even know. Like you won't have that hard cut where you can see like, oh, that's where the rail change was. Now it's just going to be a smooth transition from one to the other.
Nice. Good job, man.
Thank you.
That's a huge thing, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
might
was a big one.
yeah, I mean, you guys might not know, but holy cow, this is like basically kind of like shooting a movie in segments instead of shooting one long shot, so
Yeah,
that we're able to, edit and put together each scenes the way we want. It's like being able to edit instead of just doing one long shot. It's quite incredible. Good job, man.
thank you. Yeah, that I mean, and for folks who've been watching the stream for a while, Captain Blue Blue, I'm looking at you, might recall that this has been something I've been trying to fix for months. Like ever since we brought in the Cinemachine rail system and had the idea of like, oh, what if we change rails? It's been a problem since then,
Mm.
and it's taken me this long to figure out what is like a really obvious solution, but it took that much time percolating in my brain and trying other things before I was able to actually even have the epiphany and be like, oh, it's obvious. I'll just do this. And as soon as I did it and got it working, like, oh my gosh, I was doing a dance in my apartment
Yeah, that's
because it
awesome.
was like, oh. But anyway, there you go. I think that might be it. I'm going to check my notes real quick here, but I think those were it was really just those two big bug fixes,
Mhm, mhm.
and yes, those were the two big things that
Hu
that I took care of. And then one other thing that I did, it's actually kind of a minor production thing, but maybe might be kind of interesting to look at. Um, and sorry, were you gonna say something, Chris?
Oh, no, I said you did 2 things, but I was gonna say 2 huge things.
Yeah, they were
That's, you know
big bug fixes.
yeah, that's great.
The other thing that I did, since we are rapidly approaching the finish line here, I wanted to kind of have my own little come to Jesus moment and really get serious about like, okay, here are the things that you really need to do by the end of August. And push other things like these are the things that you really don't need to do now. And I don't think this list is like completely comprehensive, but it was a pretty good way to sort of like, okay, here are the core things. Like you have to get this stuff into the game between now and the end of August. And that is, the drone attack behavior, because currently none of the drones attack. And I need to, because without that, there really isn't a fail condition for the player, which means it's not a game. Because if you can't lose, it's not a game. Period.
Mm,
These sort of like this one actually we could ship the game without this, but I really want to have the ability to shoot projectiles. Um, and then, anyways, scoreboard lighting is a big one that we need to test and figure out. And then basically the level design for all the levels, which I was hoping to do this week, but for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier in the show, I didn't get around to. But now with some of these other like big bugs and with these big bugs fixed, and these little bugs that I will fix in the coming week, um, hopefully the cycle of me saying, all right, today's the day, I'm going to design a level, and then immediately running into a problem of like, oh man, this requires a computer programming solution. I guess I'll stop designing. I'll take off my designer hat and put on my programmer hat
mm.
and fix this problem. Because it's really hard to do both of those things. And yeah, anyway. Um, so yeah, so basically, long story short, the to-do list I went through, cleaned up a little bit, tried to get take an inventory of the things that are really important and kind of like prioritize them uh, as appropriate.
Nice.
So that's that. That
Very
is that's basically my update for this week.
Very cool, man. Thank you again for, fixing all that bugs, and again, like switching from camera to the other camera. I think that's a huge thing. That's super super big. So that now we can have multiple, I mean, when I say multiple, I don't want to get too carried away, but
Yeah,
we have an option of, different paths that we can go through. So that's very very useful. So thank you so much, Michael. That good job.
sure.
Good job, man.
My pleasure.
And yeah, we have again we have some Riley stars and or no, I'm sorry, not some Riley star. We have some new viewers today. Riley star, she asked or she says, been meaning to look at Blender. I've only used 3D Studio Max and that was a long time ago. Yeah, same here. I was when I was working at Petroglyph, the Vegas-based video game company. That's the 3D software we use for modeling as well. But 3ds Max as well as Maya, they're very expensive in order to acquire a license to actually use.
Mm,
However, Blender is like a free amazing 3D program that everyone is using nowadays, and creating was able to create some really awesome, or I'm saying awesome, but it's an awesome program to use to create like anime models, of which I did, and it's freaking amazing. Now I'm using it to create digital assets. And Captain Blue Blue also as well is learning it right now, even though he shudders at the idea of using Blender. But he's doing a great job. We're very happy that he's actually using it. Yeah. So yes, Michael. Our next thing that we will do is trivia. So hopefully you guys who are in the chat right now, if you guys would like to do trivia, please let us know, and we will enter your name into the system. Michael wants to say something. Go ahead.
uh, I need a quick break,
Ah,
and
okay.
then we'll get right into it. But
Okay.
yes, get your trivia brains primed.
Yes, yes. And while you take that break, Michael, I'll go ahead and continue on with the chat. And I
Certainly.
noticed. Okay, sweet man. I noticed that Lissy is also here in the chat, and if I scroll up, Lissy says that she did her first stream, did her first stream on Twitter. So first of all, congratulations! It's a huge step. Very happy slash proud of you to be able to do your first stream. And you said it was terrible. Well, here's the thing, I agree with what Captain Blue Blue says. It will get a lot better. Your first time doing stream, the first time I did stream, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And so don't feel bad, don't let it get you down. It only gets better from here. You got to start somewhere, and you're starting out. That's the best thing you can do. And I mean, that's the first step you can do. So I think you're doing really awesome. And after this stream, I want to check out your VOD. Hopefully you have your VODs checked so that I can, take a look and, see what you did. But yeah, very happy, very, I can't wait to see you do amazing. So I totally agree with Captain Blue Blue. Like, yeah, I also agree with him in saying that I doubt it was as bad as you think, because we are our own worst critic, right? And welcome back, Michael. And Riley says streaming you'll get more comfy over time. Absolutely. She also says you'll find a groove that works for you exactly, because every stream. Every streamer is different. They have their own personality. When I stream, it's different than when Michael streams, and when Michael streams is different from what Riley and Captain Blue Blue stream. So everyone has their own thing. So it just takes time. So don't force yourself to be have a certain way of doing things. Just let it ebb and flow, and then you'll develop your own way of you know streaming, and it'll feel a lot more comfortable as you have more time. Because yeah, when I first did it, I was like, hello, is anyone out there? And when I was drawing, I couldn't talk, and when I was talking, I couldn't draw. So my god, it was difficult. It was very difficult. Yeah. And welcome back, Michael. I was just talking to the chat, and Lizzie was doing her first stream today, and yeah,
Nice.
I'm so happy because she was actually talking in the Discord and asking for advice, and she actually did it today. So I'm very curious to see what she streamed after our our show is over.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a look. Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna get our tavern trivia game going. So we got Riley in the chat, Captain Blue Blue in the chat. I saw Totoro earlier. I'm not sure if he's still with us. And then Chris, do you want to
I will
take a slot?
I will fill in if there isn't a fourth person. If there is a fourth person, I will remain outside the game. Um,
Okay.
but Captain Blue Blue, Riley, if you guys want to play trivia, say I want to join or something along those lines, so that I know you guys want to play. Coley Butt, let us know if you
Oh
want to play.
yeah, Coley was here
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Koliba is here. Lissy, if you want to play, Totoro, if you want to play, let us know. Captain Blue says, I want to join. Sweet.
Excellent.
Excellent. Riley Star, please let us know. Coley Butt, if you're still there. Lissy, if you're still there. Totoro, if you're still there. And Riley says, "I'm really bad at trivia. You cannot be worse than me. I promise you, you will not be worse than me. Okay. I encourage you to play. Obviously, I don't want to force you to play. Please play. Please play. Please play. Yes, yes, play. And yes. Captain Blue says you can't be worse than Rando. I don't know if I agree with that statement,
Mm,
man. Captain
Nando's
Blue.
pretty good.
Rand. Okay, so for those of you guys who do not know who Rando is a computer generated system. He will just pick one answer out of the multiple answers, and yeah, he that's basically what he does. And more often than not, he usually wins over me. So don't feel bad if you lose to him. But Rando is the person that we all want to destroy. And I agree with Captain Blue Blue. Rando is a bastard, indeed, indeed. And yeah, Riley says sure. She says sure, I'll try. So
Excellent.
let's go ahead and include Riley as well. And
Okay.
if we don't get a third or fourth, I will go ahead and take the third, and Brando could be fourth if no one else is if no one else wants to play. Um, but
Sounds good.
but I want you guys to play. I don't want to play. I don't want to go against Rando. But anyways, it's up to you guys.
The arch nemesis of the Creative Tavern.
I know, I know. Coley Butt.
Oh,
Oh,
Coley Butt,
Coley Butt's here. Oh, okay. Coley Butt,
would you like to
do you
play?
want to play? Do you want to play? Say yes. Say yes. Come on. Come on. Come on, Coley Butt. Okay, I'm gonna say it for her. She's playing. She's
Gonna
playing.
volunteer?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay, I'm
volunteer
gonna
her.
put her in for your slot, and then if actually I think hers is all lowercase. If she is not there, we'll just you guys can be a team.
Oh, Coley Butt says sure. I'm gonna be bad. We'll see. We'll see. So yes, Coley Butt is in the game. Sweet.
All right. So we're gonna get started. There's 5 questions today, and they are all themed to kaiju, King Kong, Godzilla type stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of those kind of movies, you might have an advantage here. But I also try to throw in a couple of things that are like, even if you're fans of a different type of movie, you might do well. You'll see.
All right.
All right,
Sweet.
here we go. Oh, and for anybody who's not played before, the way it works is I'm going to show you a question on the screen. You're going to have 4 multiple choice answers to pick from. Once everybody chooses their answers, I'll reveal what the actual answer is. If you got it right, you get a point. If you got it wrong, you don't get any points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins.
Yeah.
All right.
Captain Blue says Rando goes to the bathroom and then shoves his hands in the peanut bowl. Riley says, I don't watch them, but yeah,
Oh
she's gonna
no,
try. She's gonna do well. She's gonna be good.
you're going to do
She's
great.
gonna be awesome.
All right, here we go, folks. Question number 1. What is the name of the ship that transports our intrepid heroes to/from Skull Island in King Kong? This is the 1933 original and the 2005 Peter Jackson remake. This ship may have appeared in other ones, but I know for sure it's in these 2. Is it A, the SS Minnow, B, the HMS Beagle, C, the SS Venture, or D, the Normandy?
Oh, uh,
At
Uh,
least one of these should be pretty obvious to Chris.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's not that one.
yeah. Raleigh says, "How do I select my answer?"
For now, just type it into the chat, and then I will push a button for you. Though, Chris and I have been talking offline about trying to find some way where maybe we have an app or some kind of Twitch functionality that will allow you to play without having to type in your answers to reveal to everybody.
Yeah,
We're working on it. We're thinking of some things.
yeah, 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 yeah.
All right, looks like everybody's going with C here. C, and Rando. We'll see what Rando picks. Um,
I know it's not D because D is,
you sure? Maybe
I don't know.
that's where the inspiration for the Normandy was taken
I
from?
don't think so. You're just trying to
No?
trick me. You're trying to trick me.
What
Uh,
say ye, Chris? Are you throwing in with the rest of the Creative Tavern and picking C?
no, I'm different. I'm gonna go with SS Minnow.
Wow, okay, Chris is going A. All
Yeah.
right, folks. Here we go. Last chance to change your answers.
Coley Butt says the 2005 one was the one with Jack Black. I think so. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. 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 That's right.
And the correct answer was ding, ding, ding. It
Oh,
was the SS Venture.
nice guys. Good job.
Bonus points, though, for anybody who knows what the other ships are. I know Chris knows at least one of them,
Yep. The Normandy.
which is from
Mass Effect.
Bingo.
Yeah.
The SS Minnow, I think all of us are too young for that one to really register. But does anybody know what that's from?
No, I don't know.
It's the ship from Gilligan's Island. That's the ship that they took and they got
Oh.
lost on the island.
Oh, what about Beagle?
The HMS Beagle is a real ship. That was actually the ship that Charles Darwin was on when he went to the
Oh.
Galapagos
Oh,
Islands.
interesting. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So not a movie ship, but
Yeah.
like a real ship. I was trying to come up with a couple that were like, I bet people would be confuddled by that one.
Right.
So I try to get in there and throw a couple. But hey, Rando missed that one, so you guys are ahead of Rando.
Yeah, good job, guys. And Riley Star says, in most cases, if you don't know, you usually pick C.
Just pick C.
Statistically speaking, the most multiple choice answers will usually choose C. For the answer that is.
Wow. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Maybe I'll have to start because I'm the one making the test here. Maybe I'll on average not have C be the answer.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
the time. That'll show you. Try to use logic and statistics to.
Oh my God! I just realized you're rando.
Yeah, in a way, I guess
And
well, I'm like Rando's like I'm like Frankenstein, and Rando's Frankenstein's monster. So like
sure,
I
sure.
made him,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
so I guess I am kind of responsible.
Yeah,
But
you're responsible.
Colibet says I knew I knew where A was from, so I picked C. Oh wow, good
Oh,
job, Colibet.
that's damn.
And Riley Star says, yeah, I recognize A and B, so I knew it wasn't those two. I've never played Mass Effect. It's if you like video games, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Captain Blue Blue. Michael was rando all the time? It cannot be. Say it ain't so.
It ain't
Bill,
so.
what a twist.
Ah,
Betrayed everybody. All right, next question.
good job, guys.
Kong Skull Island features several Avengers actors.
Oh,
Which
really?
one of these is not one of them? Is it A, Brie Larson, who's Captain Marvel?
Oh
B,
God.
Tom Hiddleston, who's Loki? C, Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Nick Fury? Excuse me. Or C, Sebastian Stan, who's the Winter Soldier? 3 of these are in this movie together, and one of them is not.
No
Which
way.
one is not?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah, I know. It's
Oh
wild. It
God.
feels like you're watching an MCU movie.
Oh God. I don't know.
Riley Starr sticking with her tried and true strategy.
But
Going
Samuel
with
Jackson is
C.
Samuel Jackson is in everything, so that's not safe to pick because
That's true.
he's in like all the movies, man. Oh my God.
Captain Blue Blue says, A, but not sure at all. Captain Blue Blue. Brie Larson is not in the movie. Bobby Star says, MCU is so large now that there are so many actors in it. Yeah, I agree. And Coleybutt thinks D. D. Okay.
I'm
What say ye, Chris?
I'm gonna pick Loki, Tom Hiddleston.
All right.
Damn, we're all across
Chris
the
is going
board
with
on
D.
this one. Shit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Riley Star says, I've not seen this movie, so I'm 100% guessing. If you haven't seen this movie and you do like these kind of like kaiju monster movies, this one's really good. It's one of the better Kong movies. All right. And the answer is, it was D.
What?
Cole, the only one who, yeah, so Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, and Sam Jackson are all in this movie. And they're all hamming it up. The only person who's not in it was Sebastian Stan.
Wait. Coley Butt says, I don't know who D is, so I'm gonna pick him. What? You don't know who Sebastian Stan the Winter Soldier is? Oh man.
It's Bucky.
It's Bucky. Bucky Barnes. Oh man. And yet you got the answer right. That's really impressive. And Raleigh Star says, I have not seen this movie, so I'm 100% guessing. Like I said, this genre is not one I watch. I've only seen the old kaiju movies like
Oh, wow.
Gamera.
The classics.
Wow. I don't even know what Gamera is. Good job, Coley, but
Yeah. Man, you guys are wiping the floor with Rando this week.
yeah.
He's getting his butt kicked. All right, next question.
I'm still on tied with Rando. We both have 0 points. Shit.
This is where you turn it around, Chris.
Yes.
All right. Question number 3. In Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, this is the one from 2016, the titular lizard makes his grand debut at an airport at night. In which city is that airport? Is it A, San Francisco, B, Honolulu, C, Tokyo, or D, Las Vegas? This is like a really iconic scene in that movie where Godzilla kind of like first appears, or when they like the camera finally, because the camera up to that point had kind of been showing like glimpses of like, you know, his spikes or his tail or something, but this is the first part where they're like the camera pans up and there's the music's all epic. There's like this chorus that's going, ooh, it's amazing.
Wow.
But what city does it take place in? Does anybody know? Riley Star says B or A? I don't know. I mean, the original is Tokyo.
I think I know what it is. I'm not gonna say it. So you guys can't steal my answer. I don't want you guys to steal my answer. I'm pretty positive I know what it is. I think.
It's gonna be hilarious if it's not the right one. All right, Riley Star's going with A confidently.
Yeah. So
Blue
does
also
Captain Blue.
says A.
What say you, Coley Butt? C?
C? Coleybutt thinks C.
Is that your final answer?
Because it's Hollywood movies, so they tend to focus on America.
America!
Very sound logic.
Yeah, that's true.
And Chris, what do you think it is?
I'm pretty sure it's Las Vegas, cause represent baby Vegas, yeah. And I think I remember that scene where the main character or one of the main characters is running through the airport, and then like and then they go through like a penthouse room or something, and then it's like the whole side of the wall has just been gashed open, and then you can actually see like all the strip is on fire and shit. So I'm gonna go with D, Vegas.
All right. Solid choice.
Solid
Represent your
choice.
hometown.
Yeah,
Here we
baby.
go. Let's see if it paid off.
Oh god, it's gonna be so. Oh my god, it's not. It's not. What the hell?
Yep.
Wait, what movie am I thinking of then?
You're thinking of the right movie. All 4 of these cities appear in that movie, but that airport scene only the airport scene's in Honolulu. The part you're thinking of does happen in Las Vegas, but there's no like airport.
Oh.
It's like the what are they called? The Mutos, right? Have like gone to Nevada to like dig out the buried nuclear waste or whatever, and that's when the like the recovery crew, the soldiers are like running through the vault, and they open a door, and there's like it's just completely the back wall has been completely torn away, and it's just broad daylight out
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's some stuff that happens in the Las Vegas too,
Yeah.
and the finale happens in San Francisco. So I tried to trick you,
Damn it, you
and it
tricked me.
worked.
Oh man, this sucks.
Womp, womp,
This
womp.
game sucks. I don't like trivia. Ah. Um
Wow.
Raleigh Star said, or hold on. Raleigh Star says, "Ah, my first guess was right. You have a lot advantage of actually seeing these movies." Uh,
Yes.
Apparently not, because I saw it and I totally don't remember any of it. I got tricked. Kaliba says it was a trick. Captain Blue says I haven't seen that movie. I think the latest kaiju movie I saw was the first American Godzilla movie. I've seen the Japanese classics
Oh
though.
wow.
Wow, dang dude. That
The first American Godzilla movie was very divisive
yeah.
in the pantheon of Godzilla films.
What's
That was the Roland Emmerich, Dean Devlin one. The guys who
yeah.
did Independence Day did that one.
Yeah, the Godzilla was
Matthew
essentially
Broderick.
yeah, Matthew Broderick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And P Diddy did the song for it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's I completely
Yeah,
forgot
he's
about that.
the
Yeah,
sounds
he's
like
the Kashmir
yeah.
sample, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, "Come with
That was
me" or
actually a cool
something like
song.
that. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, the Godzilla was like essentially a lizard. It was like modeled after a
Hmm.
lizard, and people did not like that at all.
Yeah, he looked like a cross between like a Jurassic Park Velociraptor and an
Right.
iguana.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird design. Riley Star says, recently even, oh my god, my brain is so offline. Same here, man. Well, that's not true. My brain was online. I just got tricked. I got tricked. All right.
All right, next question. Two
Coley
more.
Coley Butt is in the lead.
Yeah, Coley Butt is kicking everybody's butt. Uh, pun accidental. All
Nice.
right, here we go.
Oh
I
god.
really like these questions where it's like you got to pick the thing that's not in the thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, which of the following is not one of the kaiju fighting Jaeger mechs seen in Pacific Rim? This is the 2013 one. Because I think they did a sequel, but this is the original.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Is it A, Gypsy Danger, B, Crimson Typhoon, C, Cherno Alpha, or D, Big Red? Which one of these is not a Jaeger in that movie?
Jaeger mix.
Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
I think that's what those mechs are called.
Uh okay, I'm not sure of myself anymore. You made me doubt myself now. Oh god.
Dun dun dun. Captain Blue says it was canonized in the Japanese franchise as a Godzilla cousin named Zilla, and they fight in one movie. Cool. A, because gypsy is an offensive term for Romani. What's Romani? I've heard gypsy, but I haven't heard the term Romani before. Captain Blue says A. Riley Star says D. I think. I don't remember any simple names in that one. So Riley thinks D. Big Red. Hollywood isn't exactly known for being that PC back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't believe what they call themselves. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Coleybutt. What do you think? Which of these is not one of the Jaegers? One of the Jaeger mechs? You feeling any more confident about any of these, Chris?
Not really. I only know one of them. I don't know any of the other three. Um
Coleybutt says. Oh wait, Coleybutt is. Oh, I mixed this up. Riley Star said D, or Captain Blue also said A.
I'm gonna go with C just cuz I
Okay.
I don't think it's Cherno Alpha. I never heard of Cherno Alpha.
Riley Star says my friend was the actress for the Russian Jaeger though. Was so weird watching her in that.
Are
Wow,
you serious?
that's
That
awesome.
is so cool. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh
Tell us
wow.
more about that story.
Yeah. That is freaking awesome.
And that close connection to that film paid off because it
What?
was Big Red,
Oh wow.
which was the only one of those four that was not in the movie. Gypsy Danger is the
Mhm.
American mech,
The main
Crimson
one.
Typhoon is the Chinese mech, and
Oh.
Cherno Alpha was the Russian mech.
Oh, okay.
And hey, look, Rando's on the board. He's coming for you guys.
Oh,
We only have one question left,
oh
but I guess
God.
he could tie. This could be a three-way tie here.
Oh
All
God.
right, the next and final question. Here are fun facts about the original 1954 Godzilla. One fun fact is actually an imposter and isn't true. Which is it?
Oh jeez.
A. Gojira is a combo of gorilla and whale in Japanese.
What?
B. The movie was based on a novel. C. Godzilla is a symbol for the nuclear holocaust. Or D. The suit could only be worn for 3 minutes at a time. That's the Godzilla suit. I couldn't fit the whole thing in there. There wasn't enough room to
Uh,
fit the text.
sure, sure.
So all of these fun facts are true, except one of them. One of them I made up. Which one is it? Captain Blue Blue is incensed. Rando got one? Aye. Colibet says Rando knew its max. Riley Star also says, yeah, I went to school with her. I was a tech theater major, so I stage managed a number of shows she was in.
Oh,
Cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Captain Blue Blue says B, I think.
I'm also gonna go with B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris is going B.
Yeah.
Riley Star, Coley Butt, what say ye?
Coley
Which one of these fun facts is not so fun?
Butt and Riley Star have to. Actually, no. Wait. This is the second to the last penultimate question.
No, this is the final
This is
question.
the final question. Oh, okay. All right. So Coley Butt and Riley Star are may tie.
So Rando can't win, but he might be able to tie Coley Butt and Riley Star. And Captain Blue Blue, if he gets it right, he'll be up there too. All right, Riley Star says, I don't know, B? I know C is true. All right, so I'll put you in for B. And Colibet says A, and Chris also said B.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Moment of truth.
Ding, ding, ding. You guys who picked B were on it. Yes, it's not based there. There was a novel release, but it was after the movie came out. So
Wow.
the novel was based on the movie. But yeah,
Nice.
so Gojira is a combination of the word for gorilla, which is gorira,
Uh huh.
and whale, which is kujira. So if they
Oh.
just combine those two things, and you get Gojira.
Oh, nice.
And yes, the Godzilla. One of the reasons why that movie was so popular is because it came out in 1954, less than like a decade after Japan experienced, the two atomic bombs. So this movie like really resonated with them.
Mm.
And yeah, apparently the Godzilla suit was just the way it was made was so miserable that the guy inside could only be in there for 3 minutes before he became so overheated that he would actually pass out. He'd go unconscious.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So good job everybody. And man, look at that. Riley Star coming out
Riley,
swinging.
you
First night of Tavern Trivia and you're the champ.
what the hell? You said you weren't good. You liar! She lies. Ah, but
I've never seen these
oh, I
movies.
never
Like, oh.
and yet she just came and like wiped us out. Oh my god. Good job, Riley.
But
Uh,
respectable scores from Captain Blue Blue and Colibut as well, especially because
yep.
it seemed like the particular movies I picked this week, nobody was familiar with.
I
So hopefully next time we'll
I
have some more
yeah.
coming.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Good job. Holy cow.
Yeah, great work, everybody.
Uh
And thank you for playing.
mm. This was a lot of fun. And what next time we're still doing what are we doing next time?
Disaster movies. That was
Disaster
one of
movies.
the requests.
Very cool.
Uh,
So,
but yes,
mm,
if you have other requests, please type them into the chat or put them in the Discord, and we will use that as the theme for a future tavern trivia session.
this is very, very cool. Thank you so much, Michael, for doing the trivia thing, man. And yeah,
My pleasure.
if you guys have anything else that you guys want to enter, like the category for tavern trivia, please let us know. This is that's so cool. And like we said, or like Michael said, Michael and I wants to do something a little bit of more geared towards, basically what we want to create like an app or something that you can play here on Twitch, that when you do enter your answer, like no one will see it, only the program will see it, and then it'll pick out the right answer. So that's something we want to work on in the future, because this tavern thing, or the trivia tavern night, is actually a lot of fun. So yeah, this is awesome. By the way, if you guys have any questions at all for Michael and me. Yeah, yes, yeah, Michael and me. We will be here and answer your questions. Please let us know. Captain Blue says like Jackbox. Yeah, something like Jack. I mean, Jackbox is it's really really awesome, but we kind of want to create our own version. That's something a little bit more Twitter, or not Twitter, Twitch based. See, I got it confused again every single time. Yes, but very much like Jackbox, but more geared towards for Twitch. Riley starts says, "Be right back." Riley says, "Okay, words on stream, kind of thing." I never played words on stream. Uh, I need
Yeah,
a
what's that?
Yeah. What is that? I should check that out. She also says, maybe if we do like something like Austin movies, I do okay. Well, apparently that's not true, because you won. You don't need Austin movies in order to win, because you already won already. These
What
trivia
kind of movies?
Austin movies,
Austin, like Austin Powers?
or Austin, Texas.
Uh,
Jane
Jane.
Austen.
Oh, yes, of course. Um,
Who's Jane Austen?
Jane Austen was a novelist. She wrote a very famous, like probably the mother of the sort of like romantic drama. Like, did you see Pride and Prejudice? Or are you familiar with Pride
I,
and
I've
Prejudice?
I've heard of the name and the book.
Uh, so yeah, that was her.
Oh, okay,
Yep,
okay.
Emma. Yeah, very very famous author in like classical,
Oh,
excuse me, classical literature.
Sense and Sensibility. I've heard all these before. Oh, she's the British writer. Oh, okay, very cool.
We could try. I'm only like very familiar with Pride and Prejudice because I did some like pretty serious analysis of that story for a book I wrote. Um, so maybe I'll see if I can whip up some Jane Austen flavored trivia. Um, and hopefully you'll be there next time, Riley, and you can
Yeah.
kick everybody's butt.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure I give you guys your digital drinks. Digital
Ooh yeah.
drinks. And I think Lissy is still in here. Raleigh Star. So the Creative Tavern, we offer digital drinks to anyone who is present. So for next our next show, please let us know what your favorite drink is, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and I'll make it for you next time. And so you'll see your drinks here on the table. And Killer Cookie, where's Killer Cookie's drink? Here is Killer Cookie's drink right here. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I think I'm late. Whoops. No worry at all. No worry. Hey, you're here at the end, and we both really really appreciate. Everyone appreciates Killer Cookie. And you get your own chocolate shake, and it looks super delicious. So yes. Riley Star, let us know what your favorite drink is, and I will make it for you. Just go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will make it for you. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for us? Anything at all. Anything at all. Riley says, I like boba, root beer, floats, girly drinks, and such. Well, you gotta pick one, man. I can't make all those. We have a budget here, man. We can't make all the drinks. We just one per person, please. One per person. Oh man.
Rupert Float's a good choice, though. I will say, I'm a big fan. I don't, and only when it's a Rupert Float. Like regular Rupert, I actually really don't like. But when you throw some
Ice
vanilla
cream.
ice cream in there, like,
Yeah, yeah.
this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, the first time I had a root beer float, it was like I think it was at Wet and Wild. Wet and Wild is a water theme park ride, and so it's like during summertime and it's really hot. And then so the first time I had root beer float, it was there, and oh my gosh, it was like the best thing ever. I love root beer and I love ice cream, and I at that age I never actually experienced that combination together. And then so when I actually had it, I was like, oh my god, it was like heaven in my mouth. It was so good. It was
Heck
so
yeah.
good. Yeah. Mm. Raleigh Star says you can crop a pic from my Insta. Okay. Or just make a drink called girly drink. It's a creaminess that makes it good. I normally don't like carbonated drinks. Mm.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I can't stand carbonated drinks.
Yeah, actually, for me, my mom didn't let me drink any sodas or anything until I was much older. And then when I drank it, it was like it was it was weird. Like I did not like the whole bubbly sensation on my mouth. It got
Yeah.
to me. I was like, ew, what is this weird crap?
Why do
Ah.
people like this?
Yeah, it was awful. And so it took a while for me to actually like, you know, Coke and Pepsi and all that carbonated drink. Captain Blue says, "I live on carbonation." Yeah. Cookie says, "I was never allowed Coke because of the sugar." Yeah, and
Mm,
one of the reasons why my mom didn't let me have it is because yeah, the sugars and the carbonation and everything. Apparently, drinking Coca Cola is not good for your growth. Uh, I mean, it was kind of like a wives' tale. I mean, she had no scientific proof backing that up, but she just heard that oh, drinking Coke like it stunts your growth. But obviously, it's like at the time, again, she just pulled that out of her ass. Like she's just it's just something that she heard. But to be super honest, like we now know that if you put like I don't know what object, a tooth in there, like in Coke, and then it'll more or less dissolve. Or if you put an egg in there or something, it'll like dissolve the shell of the egg, and it's like pretty corrosive, like if you leave it stuff in there. So yeah, it's not really good. It's not really healthy.
yeah, you can use Coca-Cola to like
Clean.
degrease
Yeah.
engines and clean things, and yeah, it's pretty intense. But I mean that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like poison, because like you can like vinegar is pretty good for you, like well,
Mm-mm.
in moderation,
Right.
like all things. But you can also use vinegar to clean things and
That's
to
true.
like remove stains
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
Yeah, I was actually cleaning the sink last night, and I used vinegar to clean the sink, and it was
there you go.
yeah, it was it's so weird. It's something that you can eat and enjoy, but at the same time, it's a solvent to clean stuff up. So
Yeah,
it's
like
so
baking soda's the same way.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's so
use
weird.
this to clean and brush my teeth and eat.
Yeah, it's so freaking weird. Oh, sorry, we gotta I gotta catch up on chat. Cookie says I was never allowed Coke because of the sugars. Yep. Riley says otherwise I choose a cake drink combo from Minus Boutique. Coca-Cola
Ooh.
also not good for your teeth. Yeah, that's not good. Kolibot says I never really liked soda. It was too spicy for me as a kid. Um, Cookie says I she told me I'd start bouncing off the walls. Um, Riley Star says it will eat at the enamel. It's nasty. Yeah, yep. I think the tooth thing is a myth. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I seen Coca-Cola like melt a eggshell off of the egg, so I kind of believe it. Riley Star says I did the tooth thing as a fourth grade science project. And what happened to that? What was the result? Vinegar is a good cleaning agent. Yep. Kolibus says Coke breaks down the stuff around the batteries in your car.
That's
Coke
intense.
Coke breaks down the stuff around the batteries in your car. Holy shit, that's like corrosion. Oh my goodness. I mean,
Yeah.
same with lemon. Riley Star says it explodes when you put Mentos in. Yeah, have you seen those? Like people put like Mentos in the Coke bottles and they just whoosh. That's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Have you seen the ones where people put the Mentos in the Coke bottle and then they try to like put their mouth on it or something, and it like blows through their nasal cavity and comes out of their nose, and it's a total disaster. But
Holy cow.
I don't know. It's some kind of like stupid TikTok challenge or something. But it's like, yeah, how could that possibly end any other way than completely disastrous for you?
Yeah,
Why would
man.
you do that?
Holy goodness. That yeah, don't do that. Captain Blue says, but what eats the enamel is the bacteria that lives on the sugar. It is the acid strong enough to eat through the enamel, but not the plastic bottle.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
yeah.
Well, but I also know that like there are certain uh, corrosive materials that are like inert in plastic containers, but as soon as you pour them out, they melt your flash off.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um,
Yeah,
I don't know. Chemistry is weird.
yeah. I mean, have you seen Breaking Bad, Michael?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, like the
There you go.
hydrogen or
Was it
what's
hydrochloric acid? Is that
yeah.
what they use?
Exactly, and, they had to get a certain type of, plastic container, uh, because if they don't use the right container, it'll m
Right, the right type of plastic, it'll melt it,
yeah, exactly,
and
like
then it yeah, well, for anybody who hasn't seen Breaking Bad, yeah,
yeah,
that's something real cool happens with that.
yeah. So, yes, make sure you use the right type of containers, guys. Hopefully you're never in that kind of scenario. Riley Starr says, "My dad said the acids will break down the enamel and sugars attacks the teeth. He's a dentist." Well, you got me sold right there. I mean, we got a dentist, daughter of a dentist, and I totally, I'm educated now. That's interesting. The acids will break down the enamel, and the sugar attack the teeth, and that's how we get cavity. So that's one thing that my mom always taught me to do is that whenever you have sweets, it's okay to have sweets. Just make sure you brush your teeth afterwards, because you don't want that sugar to stay around the teeth and in your mouth for too long, and then that's how you get
Yeah.
cavity. But also, don't eat too much sugar because sugar is like really awful for the body. It's like it stores fat and the non healthy fat is like is it called trans fat or something like that? But it's also um sugary fat or something, and that's
Saturated fat?
yeah, saturated fat that more or less clogs your like arteries and everything. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. I don't know if it clogs your arteries and anything, but I just know that it's not healthy. So don't eat too much
Yeah.
sugar, guys. Don't eat too much sugar. Um, Riley Star says, I think it took a bit longer than a few hours, but we did put a teeth in, and it wasn't pretty. And she says, "Anywho, I got to run now." Oh, okay, thank you so much, Riley Star, for being here and just hanging out with us and participating in the trivia. Hopefully, you will be with us next week. And yeah,
Yeah, thanks for coming.
thanks for coming and play again. So this is cool. Yeah. Um, do you guys have any other questions for Michael and myself, Michael and me? And if not, we will, start to wrap things up. And thank you again, Michael, for presenting your debugging, and it looks freaking amazing. I can't wait to see all the multiple various scenarios that we get to choose from in the game. Yeah, and also again providing trivia as well. So this has been a lot of fun. Yay! Captain Blue says, I heard that you shouldn't brush right after drinking the juice or soda because the acid weakened the enamel and the brushing is damaging it. So I know soda softens the enamel, but I doubt still can dissolve a tooth completely in any amount of reasonable time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I will just say be healthy and don't eat too much candy. If you do, just you know don't don't eat too much sugar. Sugar is not good for you. All right. But other than that, Michael, do you have anything else to add before I do our do our outro?
I don't think so.
All right.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. And I'm just typing our socials. So if anyone is in the chat right now, please go ahead and follow our all our forms of social media platforms, such as YouTube, as well as um, um, uh, Twitter and Facebook and all the good stuff. Please follow on our Twitch streams as well, as we are trying to get to our affiliate level so that we can start doing fun emotes and fun stuff. Yeah. Captain Blue asks, what's next on the programming task? That's probably a question for you, Michael.
Um, well, we'll find out next Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, nothing right now because I would really like to knock out the level design for these levels. So as long as they don't run into another big hiccup, um, next update will probably be a lot more. I mean, I'm obviously the very first thing I'm going to do is solve those bugs we saw today
Mhm.
because that was embarrassing.
Nah, it's fine.
So that's the very next thing on the programming task list. But other than that, the other stuff, yeah, I'm kicking that can down the road because I really need to build the freaking levels at this point. We're really running out of time here. So
Mm, 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 mm.
that's what's next.
Yeah, no, thanks, Michael. And Cookie says, "Bye, Austin String. I was totally fully here for Kaliba. Yeah, so happy to have you here, Cookie." Kaliba says, "I always learn so much." Yeah, and very cool. All right, so I went ahead and put Michael's social media's information as well as my information as well, just to let you guys know that again, I am currently running a Kickstarter campaign based off of these tarot cards that I created, and they will last for another 5 days. I think I gotta check, but it's about there's 5 more days that you guys can back the campaign up if you guys like tarot cards. And also you can find me on my twitch.tv/lead design studio. I also am trying to promote my YouTube channel a little bit more. So I've been doing a lot of you know drawings on Twitch, and I'm making them into a video format and then essentially put it on YouTube. I'm gonna try to get my YouTube career off the ground as well. I know it's freaking hard. Apparently, in order to start like having monetization off of your YouTube videos, there's like four aspects of things you gotta figure out or to achieve. Two is really easy. Two is like a two-step verification, and the other one is to not get strikes and whatnot. But the two that's super hard is you have to have at least 1,000 followers. 1,000 followers, right? And then the second requirement is you need to have make sure people watch like 4,000 hours of your digital content. So that's like a really huge goal that I'm trying to get. That's like something's totally down the road. But yeah, if you guys can, go check out my YouTube channel, I would be really most appreciative. Michael, where can they find you, good sir?
So I have a book available on Amazon if you like reading and you like storytelling, and you want to support me. You can check out that book there. It's called Blockbuster Blueprint. I also have various social media stuff. I have a Twitch channel. I'm not really doing anything on any of these social medias right now because I'm spending so much time in programming land trying to make this game, and to get my programming skills up to speed. But hopefully sometime in like September or October, I'm planning to launch that channel and actually spend time doing some stuff, maybe like a book club, and or programming or video game related stuff. I don't know. I'm still working on the on what the content might be like there.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you can find me right here on the Creative Tavern, hanging out with Chris every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'd love to have you.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much again for being here. It means the world to Michael and myself that you guys are here, just hanging out with us, learning from us, and also we're learning from you as well. This is again a platform for you guys. If you guys have any artwork, anything you guys want to share creatively, we are going to do the whole sharing of your artwork on Sunday, which is coming up in a few days, right? And then so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that, all your amazing artwork by then. So make sure you put it up on our Discord, okay? All right, sweet. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and
Raid?
you're gonna go raid, yeah. But we're gonna first say goodbye and have a great rest of the week, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, and take care. And also, please, stay cool and stay hydrated because it's so super hot outside right now. It's super super hot. So please take care of yourself, you guys. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. All right. Sweet. We're gonna raid.